You may not see it yet, but heaven has already shifted your life into a new chapter. Quietly, softly, deliberately, long before you noticed anything changing around you. Your name was spoken in the spiritual realm. Your season was marked. Your path was opened. And the timing of your future spouse was placed into motion. Not someday. Not eventually. Now. You have been moved into a prophetic alignment without being asked to understand it first. Heaven rarely announces transitions with noise. It announces them with preparation. And you have been in preparation even on days you felt stuck. I want you to listen as if truth itself is sitting beside you. Because this moment is not random. You didn't click this by accident. This message didn't find you by coincidence. This is spiritual timing. And I need you to breathe slowly as you hear this. You are further along than you think. You are closer to your spouse than you know. And God has been shaping you with more intention than you ever realized. What you call delay has been God setting the stage. What you call waiting has been God securing details. What you call silence has been heaven working in places you cannot see. There is a grace resting on you right now that is not ordinary. It is an anointing for elevation. For timing, for marriage with purpose, for a relationship that carries destiny. You have not been prepared for a casual partnership. You have not been shaped for a temporary connection. You have been crafted for a covenant. And not just any covenant. One that shifts legacy. One that rewrites bloodlines. One that heals generations before you and births generations after you. Your future spouse is not coming into your life to complete you. They are coming to align with what God has already planted inside you. The calling on your life required someone with spiritual weight, spiritual maturity, spiritual depth, someone with enough strength to walk beside you, enough humility to grow with you, enough love to cover you, enough vision to understand you. And that type of person cannot be rushed. Just as you have been processed, shaped, stretched, matured, they have too. You are not the only one God has been preparing in the quiet. Your spouse has also been in refining seasons. Some of their pruning you will never see. Some of their healing you will never know. Some of their battles they fought before you even met. You both have been in training for each other without crossing paths. And that is exactly how heaven intended it. Because what God is building in your marriage is not simply love. It is alignment. Alignment of purpose. Alignment of values. Alignment of assignments. Your union is meant to carry something bigger than romance. It is meant to carry God's intention. You may not realize it, but your spirit has already begun to sense the shift. Lately you've felt a subtle restlessness. Not fear. Not anxiety. Just a quiet awareness that something in your life is about to change. That is spiritual transition. That is heaven adjusting your atmosphere. That is God calling you forward. That is your spirit responding to divine movement. There are moments where you've even felt strangely emotional, even without a clear reason. Moments where you've had sudden clarity about what you no longer want. Sudden peace about leaving certain people behind. Sudden conviction about habits you know you outgrew. These are signs of readiness. Signs your spirit has grown. Signs your heart has matured. Signs your discernment has sharpened. And all of it is connected to your future spouse. Your preparation is not random. Your growth is not accidental. Your healing is not meaningless. Every breakthrough you've had this year, every tear you've cried in private, every boundary you've set, every prayer you whispered half asleep, all of it has been part of the divine shaping that matches the person meant for you. You have undergone spiritual training that didn't look like training. You thought you were just surviving, but heaven was refining. You thought you were just getting through the day, but God was strengthening your emotional capacity. You thought the heartbreak was just pain, but it was actually pruning. You thought the loneliness was punishment, but it was actually separation from what could not go with you into your next season. Nothing you have lived through has been wasted. Not one lesson, not one moment, not one disappointment. God has been putting things into order with a level of intention you would be stunned to see if you could view it from above. And right now, at this point in your life, heaven is saying, you are ready for the next stage. Maybe not perfect, maybe not flawless, but spiritually ready. Ready in ways you don't give yourself credit for. Ready in ways you don't fully see. Ready in ways that finally align with God's timing. Your heart is steadier than before. Your standards are higher than before. Your prayer life is deeper than before. Your awareness is sharper than before. You used to chase people. Now you chase peace. You used to ignore red flags. Now you see them instantly. You used to settle for potential. Now you wait for consistency. You used to confuse chemistry with compatibility. Now you understand foundation matters more than excitement. This is maturity. This is readiness. This is growth. And one of the biggest signs that your spouse is close is that God has shifted what you desire in a relationship. Your taste changed. Your spirit changed. Your boundaries changed. The version of you from 3 years ago could not steward the spouse God is preparing. But the version of you right now, you're stepping into alignment. There has been a quiet, divine acceleration over your life. Subtle but real. You've noticed things closing quickly, people leaving fast, opportunities shifting suddenly. This is heaven clearing space, clearing distractions, clearing obstacles, clearing anyone who cannot walk with you into your future. Some of that loss felt painful. Some of that silence felt confusing. Some of those endings felt unfair. But all of them were essential. Because God didn't want you tied to anything that could detour your destiny, delay your marriage, or drain your spirit. You are meant to enter your covenant whole, not wounded. Expectant, not bitter. Ready, not guarded. And God has been working on your heart with gentleness and precision. Every area you felt weak in, God strengthened. Every area you felt insecure in, God addressed. Every place where you feared rejection, God healed. Every part of you that used to hide from love, God has been pulling into the light. And slowly, layer by layer, you've become someone who can give and receive love in a healthy way. You may not have noticed the change, but heaven did. And your future spouse will notice it instantly. Your spirit has been glowing differently lately. There is a quiet confidence that wasn't there before. A deeper peace surrounding you. A softness in your heart that survived fire. A maturity that came through storms. Your future spouse will be drawn to that. Not because of appearance. Not because of charm. But because your spirit carries something that matches their calling. And just as God has been preparing you, He has been preparing them. Right now, while you listen to this message, they are somewhere in their own process. They may be learning to let go of past pain. They may be learning to trust God again. They may be learning how to communicate better. They may be learning emotional maturity. They may be learning to be responsible, steady, grounded. They may be learning to stand in their assignment with confidence. They may be learning things that will make them a better spouse to you. You haven't seen their transformation, but heaven sees it. And heaven is guiding them step by step toward you. You will not meet them unfinished. You will not meet them unprepared. You will not meet them emotionally unavailable. You will meet them in a moment where God has aligned both of your hearts to see each other clearly. Your story will not be built on chaos. It will be built on clarity. Your meeting will not be forced. It will be orchestrated. And the timing will feel so precise, so exact, so divinely arranged, that you will know it is not coincidence. There will be peace, not confusion. There will be certainty, not fear. There will be alignment, not anxiety. And your spirit will recognize theirs. Two people shaped by God always recognize each other. Not because of sparks, not because of butterflies, but because of spiritual familiarity. It will feel like, I've known you without meeting you. I've prayed for you without knowing your name. I've waited for you without knowing why. That is what divine timing feels like. And you are stepping into that timing soon. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are positioned. Heaven has already moved the pieces. God has already gone ahead of you. Your story is unfolding even in silence. And the love God is writing for you will be worth every season of preparation you endured. You may not realize it, but God has already begun removing anything that would compete with the love He is preparing for you. Your distractions have been losing their power. Your old patterns have been losing their grip. Your appetite for things beneath your calling has been disappearing. This is not random. This is spiritual cleansing. When heaven is preparing you for covenant, God begins to reduce anything that steals your focus, drains your spirit, or clouds your discernment. Lately you've been feeling a pull to simplify your life, a pull to rest more, a pull to think deeper, a pull to choose better, a pull to protect your emotions like never before. That's because your life is entering a chapter where your heart needs clarity, not clutter. You can't hear God clearly with noise around you. You can't recognize your spouse with distractions around you. You can't step into alignment with old cycles holding you back. So God has been cutting things away, not to punish you, to prepare you. He has been teaching you to listen to your spirit more than your feelings, teaching you to pay attention to your peace, teaching you to honor your intuition, teaching you to trust His timing more than your fears. These are spiritual muscles, and you have been developing them even when you didn't think you were making progress. Every healed wound, every boundary you set, every toxic situation you walked away from, every moment you chose peace over chaos, every moment you protected your future instead of entertaining your past, all of it has positioned you for what God is doing now. You're not the same person you were. You've grown. You've matured. You've upgraded spiritually. And that shift has placed you in alignment with the spouse heaven has chosen for you. Because your spouse is not just someone you will love. They are someone whose presence will activate parts of your destiny you cannot activate alone. They are someone who will walk beside you in purpose. Someone who will cover you in prayer. Someone who will speak life into you when you forget your strength. Someone who will stand in the spiritual gap for you. Someone who will love you with God's compassion and God's patience. And someone you will love with equal depth. This is why you had to grow first. If God brought your spouse too early, you might have chosen based on loneliness instead of purpose. You might have confused attention with alignment. You might have settled for someone who made you feel needed instead of someone who made you feel understood. You might have chosen who was available instead of who was assigned. But now you are discerning. Now you see differently. Now you choose differently. Now your spirit has matured enough to recognize the difference between connection and calling. And your spouse is being shaped for that same depth. Right now, they are learning lessons that will matter in your future marriage. They are being taught how to handle your heart, how to protect you emotionally, how to communicate honestly, how to love without fear, how to stand beside you instead of above you or beneath you. Some of the things they're going through right now are directly connected to you, even if you haven't met. They are being prepared to love you well, to support your calling, to contribute to your peace, to walk in covenant with strength and honor. And heaven is watching both of you grow toward each other. There will come a moment, sooner than you think, where timing and preparation intersect, where clarity meets readiness, where destiny meets desire, where purpose meets partnership. And when that moment comes, it will make sense why God didn't let you settle. There are certain patterns that had to end before this union could begin. Certain relationships that had to dissolve. Certain mindsets that had to be broken. Certain wounds that had to be healed. And you have walked through all of that. You may feel behind, but heaven says you are right on time. You may feel like you are still being shaped, but heaven says you are ready for the next stage. You may feel unprepared, but heaven says preparation has been happening in you quietly for years. You may feel uncertain, but heaven says clarity is coming. Because the season you are stepping into is not a season of guessing. It is a season of knowing. You will know when your spouse appears. You will know when God is aligning. You will know when the timing is right. Your heart won't have to wrestle. Your spirit won't have to panic. Your mind won't have to overthink. God will bring peace to what is meant for you. And peace is the loudest confirmation heaven gives. But I need you to understand something very important. Your future spouse will recognize you spiritually before they recognize you naturally. They will sense something familiar in you, a softness, a strength, a purity, a depth, calmness, a spiritual resonance. Something in them will pause when they meet you. Something in them will settle. Something in them will feel like home. Because their spirit has been prepared for yours. And your spirit has been prepared for theirs. This is why cheap connections no longer tempt you. This is why empty conversations feel draining now. This is why almost relationships feel pointless. This is why you no longer allow your time to be wasted. Your heart is aligning with God's timing. Your standards have risen because your spirit knows what is coming. Your patience has deepened because your spirit senses the nearness of the promise. Your discernment has sharpened because your spirit is preparing to recognize someone significant. Even if your mind feels uncertain, your spirit already knows something is shifting. And that inner knowing is one of the clearest signs heaven gives before divine alignment. Another sign is this: people from your past suddenly feel distant, or irrelevant, or disconnected. This is God closing emotional loops, breaking old soul ties, removing old attachments, softening the influence of former relationships. Because what's ahead of you is too sacred to be mixed with what's behind you. Your spirit is being rewired for covenant, not comfort. Heaven is drawing you into your next chapter with more force than you realize. And along with the spiritual signs in you, there are signs happening around you. Opportunities are shifting. Relationships are repositioning. Your priorities are changing. Your environment is being rearranged. Your calling is becoming clearer. Your vision for your life is becoming more focused. All of this is part of the transition. When God is bringing kingdom marriage into your life, your entire atmosphere begins to shift. The way you think changes. The way you love changes. The way you desire changes. The way you handle your heart changes. You start protecting yourself differently. You start loving yourself differently. You start speaking differently. You start seeing differently. Because you are being prepared for something sacred. Your marriage will not just be two people choosing each other. It will be God choosing both of you for a plan bigger than yourselves. And when that is the purpose behind a relationship, heaven invests deeply in its preparation. That's why your path has felt different. Why your process has been unusual. Why your pain has had purpose. Why your waiting has felt heavy. Why your spirit has been growing quickly in this season. God has not been preparing you for a small story. He has been preparing you for a covenant that carries destiny. Your spouse is not a random blessing. They are part of your assignment, part of your calling, part of your future impact, part of your spiritual growth, part of your healing journey, part of your generational restoration. The relationship God is preparing for you will not be built on insecurity. It will be built on trust. It will not be built on confusion. It will be built on clarity. It will not be built on fear. It will be built on peace. It will not be built on pretending. It will be built on authenticity. It will not be built on guesswork. It will be built on confirmation. And the moment your paths align, you will feel heaven's involvement instantly. It will not feel like striving. It will feel like timing, not like desperation, like destiny, not like luck, like purpose, not like uncertainty, like God's handwriting. This is where your life is moving. This is why God didn't let your heart stay where it was. Why He didn't let your spirit stay immature. Why He didn't let your boundaries stay weak. Why He didn't let your past define you. You were being shaped for something holy. Every part of your journey has been part of the preparation. Even the chapters you regret. Even the lessons you learned late. Even the mistakes that humbled you. Even the heartbreaks that broke you open. Even the delays that frustrated you. They were all tools. Tools God used to shape your character. Tools to refine your discernment. Tools to deepen your empathy. Tools to sharpen your intuition. Tools to prepare your heart for covenant. You are not entering your marriage naive. You are entering it wise. You are not entering it wounded. You are entering it healed. You are not entering it insecure. You are entering it anchored. And the person coming toward you has been prepared with the same level of detail. You are not waiting alone. They are growing too. You are not preparing alone. They are healing too. You are not praying alone. Their spirit is being stirred too. There are things they don't understand yet, but God is aligning their heart for you. And when the two of you meet, the timing will be so exact that you will look back at every delay, every closed door, every lonely night, and finally say, I understand now. God was protecting something sacred. You are in that season now. The season where heaven is aligning you for someone who will honor you. Not use you, not confuse you, not waste you, not mishandle you. Someone who will cherish you, respect you, support your calling, pray with you, build with you, grow with you, love you with Christ-like depth. This is what God has been preparing you for. This is why you've been refined, why you've been strengthened, why you've been separated, why you've been matured. Because the love coming toward you will require a healed version of you. And that is exactly who you are becoming. Heaven is not silent. It is aligning. And you, right now, are standing at the edge of a new chapter where timing, preparation, purpose, and destiny begin to intersect. Your story is shifting. Your season is unfolding. And your future spouse is closer than you think. Your story is not standing still. Even on the days you feel nothing shifting, heaven is moving everything. Your life is not paused. It is preparing. And your spouse is not delayed. They are developing. You have been wondering if you are truly ready for the love God has promised. But the question heaven is answering today is this. You are ready, and so are they. Not perfect, not flawless, but ready in the ways that matter. Ready in the heart. Ready in the spirit. Ready in maturity. Ready in calling. Your spouse's preparation has been happening quietly, just like yours. Some of their growth came through loss, some through prayer, some through struggle, some through divine intervention, some through being stretched in ways they didn't ask for. Heaven has been shaping them with precision. They are being prepared to stand beside you, not behind you or ahead of you, but with you. This is why your waiting didn't break you. It built you, and their waiting didn't break them either. It built them, but you haven't seen their tears. You haven't seen their battles. You haven't seen their breakthroughs. You haven't seen the nights they asked God to heal them, or the days they felt alone but kept believing, or the moments they decided to walk away from old cycles because they sensed God calling them higher. You don't know the places they almost gave up, but heaven didn't let them. And the same God who carried you, carried them. Right now, their heart is being refined to match the depth of yours. Your prayers and theirs are rising into the same atmosphere. Your desires and theirs are aligning in the same season. Your maturity and theirs are reaching the same level. You are not growing alone. You are growing in parallel. Two different journeys, two different histories, two different battles, but one divine purpose, to meet at the exact moment heaven planned. Nothing before, nothing after. At that moment, your lives will merge like rivers meant to find each other. And from that moment on, you will both understand why God didn't let either of you settle. Because neither of you were being prepared for mediocrity. You were being prepared for covenant. A covenant that carries weight. A covenant that carries destiny. A covenant that carries spiritual assignment. A covenant that carries generational healing. And this is one of the deepest truths heaven wants you to understand. Your spouse is a key to your calling, and you are a key to theirs. Your union is not just emotional. It is spiritual. Not just attractive. It is appointed. Not just desired. It is ordained. This is why the enemy tried to fight you so fiercely in past relationships. This is why you faced emotional battles that didn't match your age or experience. This is why you dealt with rejection that tried to attach itself to your identity. This is why your heart endured cycles that drained you. The enemy wasn't fighting your past relationships. He was fighting your future covenant. Because the marriage God is planning for you will damage the enemy's territory. Your union will bring healing. Your union will bring clarity. Your union will break generational patterns. Your union will birth spiritually strong children. Your union will strengthen your destiny. Your union will amplify your calling. This is why the enemy used counterfeits to discourage you. Why he used delays to weaken your hope. Why he used loneliness to make you question if love was for you. Why he used distractions to pull your heart out of alignment. But none of it worked. Because your heart belongs to a story heaven is writing, not the world. And your spirit has outgrown every imitation of love. You are not who you once were, and your spouse is not who they used to be. Both of you were shaped in separate furnaces, so you could meet as refined versions of yourselves. Stronger, clearer, more grounded, more discerning, more spiritually aware. You needed to become someone who could love with wisdom, and they needed to become someone who could love with responsibility. You needed healing in places even you didn't know were broken, and so did they. You needed to break cycles, and so did they. You needed to learn to trust again, and so did they. You needed to let go of past identity, and so did they. Heaven has been aligning both of you with a gentleness that only God can orchestrate. But now, this year, this season, this moment, your lives are nearing each other. Your timelines are approaching overlap. Your prayers are approaching synchronicity. Your healing is reaching completion. Your readiness is reaching fullness. And your spirits are preparing for recognition. There is something sacred about the moment your eyes meet someone heaven has chosen. It does not feel rushed. It feels familiar. Not butterflies, alignment. Not anxiety, clarity. Not obsession, peace. You will not have to convince yourself. You will simply know. Their presence will feel like something that fits without being forced. Their voice will feel like something your spirit recognizes. Their energy will feel like something that aligns with your purpose. Their character will feel like something your future needs. And your heart will finally feel what it has been trained for. Safe love. Love that doesn't drain you. Love that doesn't confuse you. Love that doesn't play games. Love that doesn't disappear. Love that doesn't break your spirit. Love that doesn't compete with God. This love will be steady, honoring, spirit-led, purpose-filled, emotionally intelligent, mature, intentional, because God didn't prepare you for a weak connection. Your calling is too big for a fragile relationship. Your destiny is too heavy for an unhealed partner. Your heart is too sacred for an inconsistent lover. That is why your spouse had to go through their own refining. God refused to let them bring chaos into your life. Refused to let them meet you spiritually immature. Refused to let them enter your story unprepared. They may not fully understand why certain people walked away, or why certain plans fell apart, or why certain seasons ended before they expected. But heaven knows. Everything that left them was clearing the way for you, and everything that left you was clearing the way for them. Both of you were being aligned for each other. Two stories becoming one timeline. Two hearts becoming one covenant. Two destinies becoming one assignment. Now heaven is beginning the final adjustments. The aligning is accelerating. The atmosphere is shifting. The timing is ripening. The preparation is completing. Your spirit can feel it. Your intuition can sense it. Your dreams may even be hinting at it. And your heart, despite everything you've been through, is beginning to hope again. Not because of fantasies, but because your season has changed. This is why God has been nudging you to take better care of yourself. Why He's been urging you to grow in discipline. Why He's been guiding you to heal deeper. Why He's been inspiring you to step into your purpose with courage. He is preparing you to stand beside someone who is also stepping into purpose. You are not being prepared to be saved by someone. You are being prepared to stand with someone. Two strong spirits. Two healed hearts. Two aligned callings. This is kingdom marriage. And you are walking into it. You are stepping into a season where love will finally match your spirit. Where relationship will finally match your maturity. Where timing will finally match your readiness. Where connection will finally match your calling. Where your spouse will finally match your destiny. Nothing about your story is delayed. It is unfolding exactly on time. The love God is bringing into your life is not late. It is fully prepared. And soon, you and your spouse will step into the chapter heaven has been writing quietly for years. Not almost. Not soon. Not wait longer. But now, you are stepping into that moment. You may not feel fully ready. You may still battle old doubts. You may still question if your heart is healed enough. You may still wonder if your past disqualifies you. But none of that changes the truth. Heaven has already positioned you. And when God positions you, nothing can push you out of alignment. not fear, not insecurity, not delay, not distraction, not spiritual warfare, not your old self, not your old story. You are stepping into a season where the hand of God becomes undeniable. A season where your spirit will recognize what your mind couldn't imagine. A season where everything suddenly begins to make sense. A season where timing meets purpose with clarity. Your life is entering a synchronized moment. A moment designed by heaven long before you ever prayed for love. This is the moment when your path begins to intersect with your spouse's path. Not randomly, not loosely, but intentionally. God doesn't align marriages the way people align relationships. He doesn't match chemistry. He matches purpose. He doesn't match surface compatibility. He matches calling. He doesn't match convenience. He matches destiny. That is why your story has always felt different. That is why common relationships never worked for you. That is why temporary connections felt draining. That is why casual dating felt empty. That is why your heart always longed for something deeper. Because you were never designed for ordinary love. Your spirit was wired for covenant. Your heart was shaped for depth. Your journey was aligned for purpose. And that purpose is tied to your spouse's story in a way neither of you fully sees yet. So God has been guiding both of you, quietly, gently, consistently, toward the same point. But before God allows covenant, He demands clarity. This is why your discernment has been sharpening, why your intuition has been rising, why your spirit has been becoming more sensitive. In this season, you will notice spiritual signs intensifying. These signs will not be confusing. They will be confirming. Here are the signs heaven releases when marriage alignment is near. Your spirit becomes calm. The panic you once felt around relationships fades. You no longer feel desperate. You no longer feel behind. You no longer feel pressured. Instead, you feel steady, grounded, centered, hopeful in a healthy way. That peace is not natural. It is prophetic. Your desires change. You crave emotional maturity. You crave accountability. You crave stability. You crave a partner who loves God sincerely. You crave honesty and presence over excitement and charm. Your spirit is being pulled toward someone who will build with you, not someone who will distract you. Your vision becomes clearer. You begin thinking about your future differently. You begin seeing yourself in roles you never imagined. You begin sensing purpose bigger than yourself. This is God preparing your mindset for covenant responsibility. Your heart becomes softer, not toward everyone, but toward the idea of real love. The hardness left by past relationships begins to melt. Not because someone healed you, but because God restored you. A soft heart is a sign of readiness. Your standards rise. You stop entertaining inconsistent people. You stop giving your time to confusion. You stop explaining your worth to anyone. You stop holding on to people just because they are familiar. This is heaven removing what cannot align with your future. You feel a spiritual pull toward preparation. You begin taking better care of your soul. You begin praying differently. You begin protecting your peace. You begin aligning your life with God's voice. This is God preparing you to meet someone equally aligned. You feel someone praying for you. This is one of the deepest signs of all. You may feel a strange sense that someone out there is thinking of you, praying for you, preparing for you, missing a person they haven't met yet. This is not imagination. Your spirits are beginning to sense each other through prayer. And the closer the alignment comes, the stronger this spiritual connection becomes. Your spouse has moments where they pray for someone without knowing who. They feel a pull in their heart toward the future. They feel a longing that cannot be filled by anyone in their past. They feel conviction to grow, to mature, to change. That is heaven shaping both of you at the same time. And now, your timelines are merging. Your seasons are synchronizing. Your hearts are rising to the same level. Your preparation is meeting their preparation. This is the moment heaven calls convergence. A moment when two destinies begin moving toward each other with acceleration. You can expect these things as alignment gets closer. Divine timing becomes undeniable. Opportunities shift. Paths cross. People appear. Instant clarity happens. What once didn't make sense suddenly fits perfectly. Your spirit becomes alert. You begin paying attention to details. You begin noticing divine nudges. You begin recognizing spiritual cues. Your discernment becomes sharper than it ever has been. Your past loses emotional power. Memories stop hurting. Old attachments loosen. Unhealthy desires disappear. Your heart is being cleared for covenant. Your faith becomes active. Not loud. Not desperate. Just steady. Quiet. Assured. You start believing again without forcing yourself. Hope rises naturally. This is the Holy Spirit preparing you for manifestation. And then, when everything is ready, heaven will open the moment. You will meet your spouse in a way that feels natural but divine. Effortless but intentional. Simple but supernatural. They may come through a small moment that turns into a big shift. A conversation that feels deeper than expected. A friendship that begins to feel purposeful. A stranger whose spirit feels familiar. A reconnection that feels transformed. A new environment that introduces a significant person. But however God brings them, you will not miss it. Your spirit will recognize them long before your mind catches up. It will feel like, I've met you before. I've prayed for you without knowing who you were. My soul knows your spirit. My peace knows your presence. My destiny knows your name. That inner recognition is the signature of a heaven-ordained connection. And when that recognition happens, your life will shift faster than you expect. Not rushed, accelerated. Not chaotic, aligned. Not overwhelming, peaceful. And the love that enters your life will feel nothing like your past. Your past was survival. Your future is purpose. Your past was confusion. Your future is clarity. Your past was lessons. Your future is covenant. Your past was breaking. Your future is building. Your past was growth. Your future is partnership. Your past was healing. Your future is wholeness shared with another whole person. And that whole person is being positioned for you right now. You will not receive someone half-ready, half-committed, half-healed, half-present. No. Heaven has invested too much in this story. Your spouse is being prepared spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and purposefully. They are learning discipline. They are learning consistency. They are learning communication. They are learning to protect peace. They are learning how to love someone deeply. They are learning how to honor God with their heart. This preparation may have been painful at times, but it is sacred, because the love you are stepping into is not temporary. It is generational. Your children will be blessed by this union. Your home will carry peace that breaks old patterns. Your marriage will be a place of refuge and power. Your calling will expand through partnership. Your destiny will strengthen through agreement. This is why the wait had weight. This is why the preparation was long. This is why the process felt intense. Because what God is giving you is significant. And now, you stand on the edge of it. Not years away. Not far off. Closer than you think. Closer than you've imagined. Close enough that your spirit already senses the shift. Your life is about to change in a way that feels like God Himself stepped into your story. And when you look back, you will say, every tear was worth this. Every delay was worth this. Every lesson was worth this. Every prayer was worth this. This is your time. You are aligned. You are ready. And heaven is moving. Your spouse is rising. Your story is unfolding. Your future is opening. God is not delaying you. He is delivering you into the promise. And the moment your paths cross, you will understand one truth more deeply than ever. When God writes a love story, He writes it with purpose, with timing, with protection, with destiny, and with a love that never fails. You are about to walk into that story, and it will be beautiful.